Adults of Reddit, what is something every teenager should know about the real world? Life never settles down. If something is important to you, then you should get to it as soon as possible. Nobody really knows what they're doing. No life plan survives contact with the real world. We're all basically just winging it. If you don't plan your own birthday parties, you won't have birthday parties. Friends planning something for you are super rare. It's not like on TV, you have to make an effort to have a social life. You will have to work to have a good life, and you will be tired like you never have been before. It will make having fun and going out harder. Enjoy being a teenager as long as you can. But don't try to fight becoming an adult, because it will just get harder and harder. When we are younger, our perception of time is very different. We think we have all the time in the world. Our life is often filled with, "I will get to that later," or "I have plenty of time." Let me tell you, we don't have nearly as much as we think. Time slides by ridiculously fast as you age. I mean that. So, here are a few more specific items that you can consider. Career. If you have specific career objectives that possibly involve education or such, don't put it off. It never gets easier, there is never a better time. I had intended to go to law school after my undergrad, but put it off because I was just burnt out from going to school and working. I don't want to be an attorney, but law would give me a significant advantage in many of my career objectives. Anyway, I told myself, I'll do that later, when it's a better time. I've never made it back. Relationships. First, if you have an idea of what you want in a relationship and life, you have to make yourself that person, first. Meaning to attract the life and people you want, you have to be that person to make it happen, not the other way around. Have a serious conversation with yourself. Identify your character traits. Strengths and weaknesses. You probably need to ask friends for their sincere input, because it's extremely difficult for us to be objective. Particularly when we are younger. If you know what you want the end story to be, then you have to map out your path to get there, and implement that. There are no shortcuts, do the work. It is very, very easy to become complacent in a relationship. To settle for what is comfortable rather than what is satisfying or fulfilling. Be judicious with your time. This doesn't mean you should have throwaway relationships, but it does mean you should be more conscious about who the other person is, and how they fit your life, the life that you want. I have lost both parents, over a dozen friends, time creeps. You don't think, even for a second, this is the last time I'll see these people. This is the last time, whatever. We take for granted, so much. If you look back, and knew that those were the best years and the best times of your life, would you have appreciated it differently? I don't know, but I will tell you, as a person that has moved over 50 times, 17 schools, 4 countries, 20-ish states. Time slides by a lot faster than you expect. Do not waste it. People you think you'll see again, for sure, pass away. Car accidents, heart attacks, torn esophagus. I mean, at any given moment. I hope even one of you reads this, and takes a new level of appreciation. Tell the people you love, that you love them. Seize the fucking day. Postscript, you get what you give, the giving comes first. Comparison is the thief of joy. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is your past self. For better or for worse, confidence opens as many doors as competence. Don't worry about not having the respect of people you don't respect. You know how sometimes you think to yourself, when I'm an adult and have my own place, I'll be able to do whatever I want. Make sure whatever you want includes doing the dishes. Having a goal and a plan in life doesn't automatically mean it's going to work out, especially if you don't come from money. It's okay to fail. This world is kind of fucked up, and it's not always your fault. You can do everything right and still fail. During high school, learning how to learn is more important than anything you're actually learning. Your job sees you as replaceable. Look out for yourself and your family. Your job is not everything, but it will feel like it is. Make sure that if you don't like where you are, that you change it. Don't be miserable at a job because it pays well. You would be amazed at the things each person on this earth has had to overcome. Everyone has a story, everyone here has battled, and everyone is a victim of something or someone. Be proud of your survival and celebrate your birthdays. We are complex creatures. We are not defined by any one action but by the decisions we make day to day. Of course, extreme decisions will sway the tides. Point is, someone can be nice and charming and wonderful and a hero, and also an evil opportunist in the next moment. Never give someone total control of your safety and well-being. Rely on you. Your body is a pathetic soft fleshy blob of helplessness, especially when you're driving 80 miles per hour in a glass and steel death trap buffered by protective paint on the road. You can die, painfully. Many have found this out the hard way. Don't text or drink and drive. It only takes a second of stupidity to end it all. The good moments make everything else worth it. That's why. Life is extremely unfair. And there is no reason for that. People who have expectations of things being fair in the real world are always sorely disappointed. That it's all about marketing. It doesn't matter that much how hard you work, it's more about how you sell yourself. That even if your point of view is correct, without proper communication and negotiation skills no one will probably care. You are responsible for everything you do, and you will be held accountable. Enjoy your youth till 16, because after that the kid gloves come off. Going from 50 to 58 was about the same as going from 30 to 33. One suggestion is to do things to make memories as frequently as you did in youth, so there is a lot to look back on. If you have the ability, find a way to live without having to work full-time as soon as you are able to and enjoy life more. Be realistic, use math. Don't get complacent or pass up opportunities because you think more will come along. Before you know it you've lost 10 years saying, "I'll do it next week." Everything is expensive when you move out and nothing is free. You always pay in some way or another, both private and work life. Once I asked a consultant an easy yes or no question, since he was already on site and stood in front of me. He sent me an invoice for it. It's this Western concept of moving out when you become an adult that often makes me glad to be Asian. Most, if not all, of Asian culture puts a lot of importance in family ties. We're a very collectivist society, contrasted by the individualism of the West. We're raised and conditioned with the notion that we have a duty to the family and to give back to our elders for raising us. It's totally not uncommon to get married, have your partner move in, and raise kids all in the same household you grew up in. Either that, or move into your partner's place and find a bunch of their family there as well. Don't get me wrong, I often wish I was raised in an individualistic culture just because I feel like independence fits my personality more. But at the same time, in this goddamn economy, I'd probably lose my shit if I wasn't living under my parents' roof. You can work hard and do all the right things and it doesn't guarantee success. You can be the kindest, best person for others, and they can still betray you. But that doesn't mean you should not be kind and work hard. You are the main character in your story, but you are not even an afterthought to 8 billion people. Life is extremely unfair and there is no reason for that. People who have expectations of things being fair in the real world are always sorely disappointed. Society owes you nothing, and the universe is indifferent. Learn how to manage money. Too many young people get deep into debt because they don't know how to save or how credit cards actually work. Remember that there is an order of where your money goes. Rent and bills must come first and foremost, then everything else. Don't plan on having the same friends, people switch up. Do not rely on anyone, whatever you get yourself into do not expect help, it's on you. It sounds cliché but don't rely on alcohol to cure your boredom. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts. What advice or insight resonated with you the most? How do you perceive the real world, and what lessons have you learned? Feel free to comment below and join the conversation. Remember, together we can learn from one another and navigate the complexities of the real world more effectively. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.